Katayama, and I am 9 years old. I have naturally curly hair. I love to sing and dance, and I like to skateboard at the skate park. I am mixed Korean and Japanese heritage. My mom immigrated to the U.S. when she was little. My dad is a third-generation Japanese American and a native Coloradan. At home, I speak Korean when I'm practicing Taekwondo or singing a BTS song. I use hashi, that's Japanese for chopsticks, when eating sushi or ramen noodles. These are all things that make me unique. Last year, in 2020, a deadly coronavirus spread rapidly all over the world. It was a global pandemic. Many people blame China because the virus started in China. Many people also blame Chinese Americans and Asian Americans. I don't understand why. We didn't start the virus. During World War II, something similar happened to Japanese Americans, including many of my family. The U.S. was at war with Japan, Germany, and Italy. People were afraid that Japanese Americans were spies for Japan, even though Japanese Americans lived their whole life in the U.S. and they are American citizens. It was called the Executive Order 9066. Tens of thousands of Japanese Americans were taken from their homes and forced to live in internment camps. They lived in poorly insulated and unsanitary stables and barracks. The camps were surrounded with barbed wire fencing and guarded with guns. The Japanese American prisoners were prisoners in their own country. We know that this was racist because German Americans and Italian Americans were not forced into internment camps, even though the U.S. was also fighting Germany and Italy. My great-aunt, Antioche, was sent to an internment camp with her family when she was 12 years old. Her family lived in San Jose, California, but they were sent to live in Boston, Arizona. There were internment camps all over the U.S. in Manzanar, California, Heart Mountain, Wyoming, even right here in Colorado. Some Japanese Americans men volunteered to fight in the U.S. military, hoping that their family members would be released from these camps to prove their loyalty to the United States. One of these men was my great-uncle, Kazuo Katayama. He was a member of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, a segregated Japanese American unit. They risked their lives and fought honorably. The 442nd is the most decorated unit for its size and length of service in the history of the U.S. military. This is my grandma, Sachiko Katayama. She is 90 years old. She grew up on a farm in Platteville, Colorado, and had to work on the farm while my great-uncles went to war. This is a photo of my great-uncles. My grandma lived through the Great Depression, World War II, the Executive Order 9066. She's seen the history of the U.S. from Pearl Harbor to 9/11. From the first television to the first smartphone, from the polio vaccine to the coronavirus vaccine. Throughout all these events in history, immigrants and people of color are often blamed and attacked over global events they have no control over. Even now, hate crimes against Asian Americans in major cities have increased by 150%. They are mostly targeted towards women and elderly, like my grandma. I'm proud to be Asian and American. I'm proud of my great-uncle who fought in the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. And I'm proud of my grandma and great-aunt. Being Asian American makes me unique and different. The United States is a nation of immigrants, and we all have qualities that make us unique. Our unique qualities should be celebrated instead of attacked. Stop Asian hate. Black Lives Matter. Thank you. But
da 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 da, bum, bum.